Hey everybody, this week's Torah portion is Parshat Tazria-Metzora. Now if you look around, you're going to notice that a lot of people are not shaven, not getting haircuts, not listening to music, and the reason for that is because the Jewish people as a whole are in a state of mourning. We are mourning for the death of the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. Now, you'll notice something interesting about Judaism, and that is that we spend a lot of time dwelling on the past. And it may make you wonder, why is that? Why do we spend so much time dwelling on the past? Why not look towards the future and forget about the mistakes that we made? Now, there's a famous story about a CEO who was called into the office one day after making a very big mistake that cost the company $14 million. And the board calls him in, and he realizes that he's losing his job, and he has no problem with that. He knows he made a mistake that was very problematic. And before they could even say anything to him, he says, I know what I did, and I know it cost the company $14 million, and therefore you don't have to say anything. I know what you're about to do, and I take full responsibility. And one of the board members looks at him and says, "Fire you. We just invested $14 million in training you." And what he meant was as follows. Everyone understands the following formula. Success comes from good decisions. Good decisions come from experience, and experience comes from making a mistake. Which means that making a mistake is one of the necessary ingredients in getting to success. But that's only true if you view it that way. Now, the reason we spend so much time looking through our past and trying to re-experience those mistakes that our ancestors made is because we don't view those as mistakes. We view those as the building blocks of creating our lives. And in order for that to happen and to be successful, we need to make sure that we look at those mistakes, learn from those mistakes, correct those mistakes, and become better because of those mistakes. And that is why we're going to be spending the next couple of weeks going through a mourning process to sort of remind ourselves what exactly they did and what we can do to make sure not to make the same mistakes. Now, what they did and what our focus should be on right now is one very simple thing: making sure to take care of our fellow man. See, the mistake they made was not being careful with the feelings of their fellow man. So what we have to do now is learn from that mistake and have a special focus over the next couple of weeks of looking towards growing in the area of helping our fellow man. And it's very interesting that it comes out within this week's Torah portion, because this week's Torah portion is all about nothing less than watching out with what you say towards your fellow man or what you say about your fellow man when he's not there. So over the next couple of weeks, we should all be cognizant of that and try to prepare ourselves for the holiday of Shavuot and accepting the Torah by doing the thing that is really a necessary ingredient to getting the Torah, and that is taking care of our fellow man. On behalf of Makor, have a Shabbat Shalom.